It wasn't that long ago when we were really at the mercy of the weather. We lost a lot of time and money to wet fields and adverse conditions. But today, with higher costs of production, we can't afford to wait. And with rising fuel and maintenance costs, we've got to be as efficient as possible. Massey Ferguson understands. That's why we've designed our four-wheel drive tractors in all horsepower classes to meet your needs today and tomorrow. While four-wheel drive isn't a new idea, it's one that's been perfected to provide tremendous working benefits for your day-to-day operation. You can invest a lot of money in a four-wheel drive tractor, but unless you use it the right way, you lose all the advantages you pay for. Advantages that can save you a considerable amount of time and money every year. Many farmers operate their four-wheel drive tractor just like a four-wheel drive truck or car. When conditions are tough or slippery, they drop into four-wheel drive. But most of the time, they're running in two-wheel drive. You see, all MF four-wheel drive tractors are designed for continuous four-wheel drive operation for both chores and field work when operating under 10 miles per hour. And it's only when you're in four-wheel drive that you get the best traction, the best fuel efficiency, and the least amount of time in the field. Before we go too far, let's take a look at those advantages, one by one. In Europe, where fuel costs have been very high a lot longer than in North America, and where they operate in much wetter conditions, four-wheel drive tractors are the order of the day. That's because they're more productive from the word go. When four-wheel drive is engaged, there's more efficient transfer of power between the tractor and the ground, which leads to reduced fuel costs per acre and the ability to cover more acres per day. What we're talking about is reduced wheel slippage, greatly reduced wheel slippage. The less those wheels are slipping, the more ground you cover, in the same time, on the same tank of fuel. In an independent test by a major ag tire manufacturer, the results were dramatic. Properly ballasted two-wheel drive and four-wheel drive tractors were compared over the same ground under the same conditions. The four-wheel drive tractors outperformed the two-wheel drive machines by 5 to 12% more ground per run. At 5 miles per hour, that adds up to more than an extra acre per hour. On 1,000 acres, that could save you days in the field. With four-wheel drive, you could save $50 or more on fuel for every trip through the field. Disking, planting, fall work, and more. That can add up to hundreds or thousands of dollars over the course of a full year. That's the main advantage of owning a four-wheel drive tractor. And that's why it should be in four-wheel drive from the minute you hit the field until the minute you leave. Naturally, there are other advantages too. It's a proven fact that four-wheel drive can reduce wheel slippage to dramatically reduce tire wear. Under many kinds of cropping conditions, four-wheel drive eliminates the need for expensive duals. But they're still available for areas that need flotation. With proper ballasting and about 40% of the tractor weight over the front end, there's less soil compaction for better growth and yields. You find yourself worrying less about the weather in spring, summer, and fall. With four-wheel drive, you can stay on schedule in wet weather or dry to get those chores done and get the crops in on time. Plus, since you're covering ground faster, you can get done and out of the field before an approaching storm. To put more power to the ground and to handle those tough jobs easier, four-wheel drive tractors make more efficient use of available horsepower. And that saves a lot of money right there. In most cases, a four-wheel drive machine can handle the work of a two-wheel drive tractor in the next higher horsepower class. And when it comes to handling, you can't beat the advantages of four-wheel drive in the field. For more positive steering control, you have more weight and pulling power on the front end. But since there's more ground contact, you don't increase compaction. But to take advantage of that pulling power and reduced compaction, those front tires have to be flat on the ground. That's what's wrong with the camber steering setup some of our competitors use. Those camber wheels increase compaction and lose tractive effort in the turns. In fact, the traction bar on a camber steering tractor tends to pull the tractor straight forward. In loose soil or wet conditions, that adds up to less steering ability. With a Massey Ferguson four-wheel drive tractor, the turning focus is always on the center line of the tire. On the straightaway or in a turn, the tires stay flat for optimum traction. You can take on jobs where those two-wheel drive tractors have to shift down and may not be able to go. And if you're using a front-end loader, you'll be amazed at the difference that four-wheel drive can make. Pushing, pulling, turning, even in the sloppiest condition. If you're in the market for a new tractor, you owe it to yourself to consider the advantages of a Massey Ferguson machine equipped with four-wheel drive. Not only will you enjoy the time-saving, dollar-stretching benefits of owning a four-wheel drive machine, but you'll also be able to take advantage of the engineering differences that have made Massey the world leader in agricultural four-wheel drive technology. From our 13 PTO horsepower tractor to our powerful 125 PTO horsepower tractor, you won't find a more complete line of machines for turf, orchard vineyard, row crop, and every ag-related application you can think of. Massey Ferguson four-wheel drive tractors. We put the power in your hands. If you're looking for a hard-working four-wheel drive compact tractor, these models from Massey Ferguson in 4 horsepower ranges put the power in your hands. All 4 are available with either ag or turf tires, so you can put the power to work for all kinds of applications, over all kinds of terrain. They're capable of doing so much that it's impossible to show or list all the applications in this program. The point is, they're so versatile and powerful that there's bound to be one that satisfies your specific needs. From loaders to mowers, there are literally dozens of optional implements and accessories available to help you make the most of your Massey four-wheel drive compact. Plus, your Massey dealer can provide front and rear snow blowers, front and rear blades, plows, cultivators, discs, utility carriers, rototillers, and more. And when it comes to four-wheel drive, you'll appreciate the engineering advantages built in. The drive shaft is fully shielded to prevent crop wrapping. And the axle shaft has a double-jointed, enclosed, constant velocity drive for reliable, dependable operation year after year. It's easy to engage four-wheel drive with the shift lever at your left hand. Now, it's next to impossible to hang up a four-wheel drive tractor. But if you ever do, just activate this foot-operated differential lock. With all 4 wheels locked together, there's hardly anything that'll stop you. And with four-wheel drive, it's a snap to take care of loading operations, with plenty of pushing power and steering control, even over slippery ground. And look how easy it is to mow up those long hills. It hardly seems like work. And it was always tough to cut along a side hill run, until now. But with four-wheel drive, you've got good traction on all 4 wheels for safer, faster work. With four-wheel drive, you enjoy the benefits of better traction, better fuel efficiency, and greater handling performance all around. If you're in the market for a rugged, hard-working, compact tractor, you owe it to yourself to take a good look at the four-wheel drive compacts from Massey Ferguson. They put the power in your hands. If you're looking for a hard-working, standard clearance tractor or an orchard vineyard tractor in that 40 to 70 PTO horsepower range, you owe it to yourself to consider the advantages built into these four-wheel drive machines from Massey Ferguson. In both orchard, vineyard, and standard clearance models, they do an outstanding job of transferring that PERKINS power to the ground in all kinds of demanding applications. For engaging or disengaging four-wheel drive, there's a hand lever conveniently located on the left side of the transmission housing. The drive shaft is mounted high under the engine for maximum ground clearance, and the entire shaft is shielded to protect it from crop wrapping and debris. Hydrostatic power steering is standard on all three models. Combined with better ground contact and turning power, it makes steering smooth and positive. Plus, the standard foot-operated differential lock provides even more traction when you need it. These machines are designed to give you all the advantages of four-wheel drive, from reduced wheel slippage for greater fuel efficiency and faster field work, to increased drawbar pull, especially at slower speeds. You enjoy better traction, especially for working on hillsides and steep slopes. And your overall productivity is increased every minute you're in the field. If you're looking for a hard-working, standard clearance or orchard vineyard tractor in this horsepower range, you owe it to yourself to consider the advantages of these four-wheel drive Massey Ferguson machines. They put the power in your hands. No competing tractor in the 55 to 85 PTO horsepower range does a better job of helping you in your farming operation than the four-wheel drive 600 series tractors by Massey Ferguson. These rugged machines are designed to handle everything from around the farm maintenance to primary tillage, quickly and easily. Take a look at the clear design advantages of Massey's four-wheel drive system, available on all 600 series models. With electro-hydraulic on-the-go engagement, our 600 series tractors put the power of four-wheel drive at your fingertips. The centerline drive shaft is positioned up close underneath for good ground clearance. Notice too how it's shielded to prevent crop wrapping. The inline shaft and couplers have fewer moving parts for reduced maintenance costs and longer life. You can adjust tread settings for various row crop operations. The auto-lock front differential provides extra front wheel traction when necessary. Plus, it automatically unlocks to allow for different wheel speeds when turning. Four-wheel drive is power that saves you time, power that saves you money, power for the straight pull and up hills, power for pushing that loader around, power when the weather turns, and power to pull you through those tough jobs. If you're looking for a four-wheel drive, medium horsepower range tractor with big tractor features, you owe it to yourself to consider the four-wheel drive 600 series tractors from Massey Ferguson. They put the power at your fingertip. When it comes to the 90 to 125 PTO horsepower range, it's next to impossible to beat the amazing four-wheel drive series tractors from Massey Ferguson. Just look how easy it is to put them to work in the field. You don't even have to stop. Just drop it into the right gear with the synchromesh transmission. Touch this button and four-wheel drive is electronically activated on the go without stopping. These are tractors designed to more effectively utilize the available horsepower and to work faster and more efficiently than ever before. And Massey's front and rear hydraulic differential locks give you extra positive traction when you need it. When farmers tried these machines in tests across the country, they were amazed at the extra productivity of four-wheel drive. The new load-sensing hydrostatic steering system, combined with the extra ground contact of four-wheel drive, makes for easier turning even in tough conditions. And look at the clean design of the front axle. The tie rods and cylinder are protected behind it. And there's even tread settings for working 30-inch rows. Plus, it eliminates the need for adjusting steering stops. By providing more ground contact and more pulling power at all times than our competitors' cambered wheel machines, the steering is much more positive, especially through turns and in loose or wet soil. The straight inline drive shaft is shielded to prevent crop wrapping. Plus, there's more than 18 inches of ground clearance. In our 3500 series, nothing has been left to chance. Every detail has been carefully designed to provide you with literally the finest tractor you can buy. The four-wheel drive 3500 series tractors from Massey Ferguson. They put the power at your fingertip.